The dance company Abraham in Motion fuses hip-hop, urban, modern, and contemporary dance. The newest work premieres in San Francisco very soon. To tell us more about it is MacArthur Genius and Doris Duke award-winning choreographer Kyle Abraham. Welcome to Bay Sunday.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about this latest work of yours.
Sure. This newest work is called Dearest Home. And Dearest Home is a kind of a love letter of sorts to the topics and themes of love, longing, and loss. It's a program that's primarily set up of all solos and duets with one trio thrown in there. But it's probably the most personal work I've ever made.
We're going to take a look at a clip from your latest work. Set it up for us, and then we'll talk about it a little bit after.
Sure. Some of the ways in which we went about choreographing the work had to do with a lot of really wonderful workshops that we were able to do primarily here in San Francisco, working with organizations like YA, which is part of YBCA, and the great staff there. And we brought together a group of seniors as well to have conversations about love, longing, and loss, ways in which we can kind of find our commonality and our differences as a way of just creating conversation and ideally creating new friendships and just learning a lot about ourselves. So that became a large part of the choreographic process as well. We did a lot of guided meditation and things like that to get people to find memories associated with those themes, and you'll see some of that in the clip.
Let's take a look at this clip.
I want you to just take a moment and envision yourself somewhere that you consider home. From that sense of home, I want you to think about your first experience or an experience of receiving love or feeling loved.
So tell us what we're looking at right there.
What you're seeing are some of the excerpts of some of the duets and solo work throughout the evening's performance. We'll be playing with, I guess, a large program that has maybe like a 6-minute solo here, a 4-minute duet here, but it's woven together in a way that ideally is creating a nice through line to different ways in which we can look at the subject matter.
Mm-hmm. I read something interesting about this. I heard that the dancers don't necessarily hear the music beforehand.
Yeah, the dancers have never heard the music, ever. They won't hear it on stage either. We've enlisted composer Jerome Begin to compose a score specifically for Dearest Home, but the dancers had never heard it, and the score was composed after the dance was created. So it's almost as if what he's created is its own story and its own show, but it's one where an audience has an opportunity to choose either to watch the show in silence or to watch it with Jerome's score via headsets.
We have another clip from Pavement, so let's take a look at that. Tell me a little bit about what went into this choreographed dance here.
Sure. Pavement is a work that we actually presented here at YBCA in 2014. And it's a work that was inspired by the film Boys in the Hood and the writings of W.E.B. Du Bois, Souls of Black Folk. But for me, it's kind of like looking at those two sources of inspiration and thinking about where I was at my life in Pittsburgh in the early 90s. So it's a work that's kind of addressing all of those things and a lot of the themes that were really pertinent at that time in particular, and drawing a conversation about how we relate to those themes from that time to current day. Themes, of course, of gang violence, police brutality, drugs in the community.
Tell us a little bit about how you were inspired as a young kid growing up and what made you want to go into this kind of work.
You know, my parents were just really wonderful and supportive people. They introduced me to the arts at a really early age. I was studying classical piano and cello and taking private art classes at Carnegie Mellon as a little kid. And a kid from the hood, so it's kind of, I was like,
and now you're a MacArthur Genius. That's a hard one to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always felt support, and I think that support is what, and encouragement is what has got me to continue to try new things and to push myself. And I think Dearest Home is one of those works where I'm really pushing myself in new ways and stretching and pushing audiences as well, and challenging myself and challenging audiences.
Very quickly, what is it like working with college students now? Because I know you're at UCLA.
Oh, I love it. Again, it's about challenge, challenge and trust. I think there's that place where I meet the dancers that first day and my students, and I start building up different challenges that I'm interested in for them. And it's exciting to see where they can get to.
Kyle, thanks so much for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Remember, Abraham in Motion will premiere Dearest Home at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts May 16th through the 20th. For tickets and information, you can go to ybca.org. That is it for this week. Be sure to visit our website, cbssf.com/BaySunday, and our Facebook page, where you can pitch us your story ideas and give it a like while you're there. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful Sunday.